Hello, everybody. Welcome. The really psychic investigators. Boom. I all set for him, but then I lost. No, 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 no. Oh no, sad. No. Wow. Is having a bad week? Has a terrible day? No, no. So, so there's a lot to talk about, guys. I don't even know where to start because what's the protection? I like to ask for protection, a beautiful wave lungs coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources. That I create the good one, the good. So that's okay. So guys, immediately as I close my eyes, I actually pick up John McCain, and he is waving goodbye. He's waving goodbye to Trump. Bye. And what I see is him, McCain, and the ship. It's like he's inside this. Trump is inside the ship. He's being shipped away, and he's saying goodbye. And he's saying it. So I've said this before. It's not new, right? That I talk about when you see people on the other side, they don't speak about this is what, right? It's like you pick up. There's an image, but the image has a lot of information. Hard to explain. So as I see that he is waving goodbye to Trump, and in the goodbye, he's thinking, "Oh, that's remember when you mocked me for being caught." He didn't like people who got caught. He said something like that. But look at you, Donnie. Now it's your turn. So, so that's right, right off the bat. So wow, so that's big. And guys, there's so much to talk about this, unfortunately, because you saw that. I mean, this is like, is it unfortunate? I don't know what to say. Howard, my friend, my best friend, Howard Lutnick. No, just kidding. My brother made the video about it. So his kids, this is like his one of his investment vehicles, firms or whatever, that his sons are running. They bought one of their investment is buying the return, like the tariff refunds. They bought ahead, way ahead, right? The tariff refunds, because all these companies that paid refunds are now going to sue the government to get it back, right? So if you like that, so they created an financial instrument that people who pay this, I guess, the refunds, you would get they paid 20%. They pay the person or whatever 20%, and they pocket all of the 80% left, whatever. So it's just very corrupt. Like this is all, the level of insider dealing is unbelievable. So anyway, but let's guys, since it started, let me go back to here to the New York Times. But it started so strongly, right? And it's really what can I say, right? So let's go, let's look at the questions each way. Not just the questions. I'm really interested. I'm really enjoys guys, talking to you and looking at it and picking up the answers here. All right, so let's go. And guys, it's so cool. I told you, it is so cold inside this thing that my nose is running, and I have to have this very hot. I can't believe it. It's the air conditioning is so strong. It's crazy, but then it's so hot outside. Anyway, so let's go look at it together. So Supreme Court strikes down Trump's sweeping tariffs. President assails justices and vows to maneuver around decisions. Trump blasts the tariff ruling on Truth Social. Some Republican lawmakers laud the ruling, reflecting inter-party angst. Isn't that interesting? Remember the New York Times? They would say, what was it? Dems and disarray, but when it's Republicans, it's angst, right? They have different words. I find it interesting. Oh no. So Trump plans to impose tariffs a different way after his loss at the Supreme Court. Okay. The decision is a major setback for President Trump, who said he was ashamed of certain members of the courts. He said he would use another authority to impose a global 10% tariff. Oh, 6-3 decision has significant implications for the economy and consumers. The federal government has collected more than 200 billion in tariffs since the start of last year. Before the decision, the administration had said that a loss in the case could force the government to unwind trade deals with other countries, potentially refund tens of billions of dollars. The decision on Friday left uncertain the extent to which those who pay tariffs might be able to obtain refunds. Justice Kavanaugh warning in his dissent that any refund process could be a substantial mess. Oh, really? I wonder. It's almost like, oh, Kavanaugh, I don't agree. Yeah, because it's in the somebody has information on huh? So, all right. So let's buy what Andrew's saying. So, okay, let me just. So what's going on? What's going on? It's just. I'm so angry. Are you really, Donnie? You are? It's just, and I see that he's angry because he's buying things because he knows he's losing power. It's not really about the tariffs for him. It's just that this was a way of bullying countries and people. And this was his way of negotiating bullying, right? And now that I feel like the information on the Epstein files has come out, a lot of it. And this, he just feels like he's at his wit's end. Okay. And okay, so what's next here for him? He's just having meltdowns and he can't, well, and it's interesting. He showed me his tongue is his speaking has changed, that he can't talk very well. He's just He's in the beginnings of some sort of stroke. He's having some kind of stroke. Wow, and you know what's showing me, guys? By the way, I had marked to make a video about this. The Peruvian shamans, you know how they said he was going to have a health episode is saying could be related to this. And the next 24 to 48 hours, notice if he's going to make less appearances, because it could be the moment when they realize, okay, and I see Peter Thiel in the background, like, yeah. JD, it's me, Peter. Are you ready to become president, JD? Come here, puppet. But I see, wow, and it shows me already, wow, this whole thing, as it shows me the image of JD Vance and Peter Thiel talking to JD Vance, telling him this thing. I see that there's all these figures in military uniform behind him, like they're being listened to or something. And they know that they're not going to take power. They just know it. So that's interesting. Okay. And okay, hold on. Wow. So that's it. Wow. And I see somebody again with a uniform doing this, like washing their hands off, like it's so soon we're going to be rid of this. We're going to get rid of them. Let them celebrate for now. Let them, and I see that they're again listening in. There's some sort of there, the recording devices or whatever, wire taps or something. Even though I'm sure that Peter, it was probably hard to do that to him because he does it to everybody else. It's interesting. As the owner of, not owner, technically, one of the founders of a great company, Palantir, great company. They're now saying and I see, wow, it shows me all these countries, the UK, France, also monitoring their activities for arrest or Teal. Guys, I'm remembering the vision I had when I had this vision that Peter would be escaping in some private airplane. And at the time, when you see these things, and it's like, oh, wow, really? Like you have to quote unquote report what you see in your mind's eye. But it just seems like, wow, really, how that happened. But now we're seeing where we are today, right? It makes so much sense. because these people are like terrorists. Okay, so anyway, let's go back here to our situation. Okay, let's go back to the situation. So tell me what's up with, okay, so I see Trump, but wow, they want to commit him to some hospital because he's hitting. Remember, guys, I also another vision that I had for years, him in a rubber room in, the like some kind of like a padded room, right? Padded room because he's having like he wants to. He's not suicidal at all. He's just angry. Like, oh, then I have my habits of crime shows, and sometimes have you watched these documentaries about prisons? It's kind of really tough, and there's sometimes put people in this like I don't know, it's really scary. But there's some people that are very dangerous, obviously, right? It's a high supermax. It's called supermax. What kind of what TV shows do you like? Oh, I like crime shows. Supermax is really interesting. Yeah. No, it really, honestly, it is because it shows you human behavior at its rawest. So, but Donnie, Donnie would never survive. You think he would be like, no, he would in the supermax. That's where he belongs, right? So it's okay. What happens next? Wow. Then I see that Lutnick is again. He knows. It's like, guys. It's like these people are such criminals. Like we know how high up there they are on the criminal organization. That is our current government is a criminal organization. There's no other way, right? It's an organized crime place. And Howard Lutnick is like, oh, yeah. It's like he is in a way he's very powerful right now, but he knows he's on the verge of being arrested somehow. Isn't that great? Like it's just like he's head of this criminal organization. And right, head meaning I talked about it, right? He's the money launderer, and then he just knows that things are about to collapse, and there's not much more they can go. Like the whole point was to shut down the government, destroy the government, right? Create these financial opportunities. So I have a question. What's going to happen to those, like, so his kids invested in the idea that this thing is gonna, they knew that it was gonna come back, and they bought these things cheap, and they're gonna make so much money. Are they gonna? I mean, it's like, are they gonna? I see them all in prison. That's right, because they have. This is a. It's one thing bribery. It's bad enough, but what they've done is like they've changed policy to just enrich them. Like it's a level of corruption that has never really happened at that scale in the U.S. So they have to make an example of these people. And yes, it's saying that cryptocurrency tether. I've talked about it, right? All of this, all the people that, and even Bess, and what the other guy, what the hell is up with that guy's face? Besant, what the hell is that even, that guy? Oh, yeah. It's just weird. Like these people are just some bizarre evil actors. They're not actors, like, but they're like, it's just how do you make up? You can't make it up. So so they know it's like the whole government is a criminal enterprise, which is say the Epstein files explains it, how they all play a role in it. One, two, the entire business of the government has been transformed into rackets for them. And the difference is once everything becomes very public, you get too much scrutiny. And I remember, as you know, I also like learning about the Italian mob, and how some in the Italian mob were a little like afraid when John Gotti started becoming like more famous or like a celebrity. They didn't like it because they understood it drew scrutiny. Same thing happening here, right? Now they can't. It's one thing when you're doing everything behind the scenes, but when it's public, you can't put it out back in the back. There's no place to run to. But I have a question. So I'm seeing here the information that these people that have made money from tariffs are going to be arrested. They're going to lose everything, spend decades in jail. But we don't have a functioning Department of Justice. No, you're saying quickly enough, you can have I see Kamala having this amendment. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away or something, but it's just saying amendments to hire people like they used to work even in the Department of Justice, the decent ones, and they can have emergency hiring to do all everybody, because the thing is they have messed up so much that everybody knows what they have to do, right, to do the right thing. So it's not as if I wondered what crimes they have committed. Do you know? Does anybody know? Yeah, very clear. No, really, it's very clear. So, wow. So, okay. So what happens? And I see that as they see the tariffs didn't work, it's saying that Trump is annoyed because that was what he did to the countries that did, to Denmark and all, like that's what they did. We're gonna send you a tariff, okay? Uh-huh. Not only that, but that was the way that they knew they were gonna crash the economy. But now it's like, oh, no tariffs. It's gonna be harder to crash the economy. So they're trying to find, this is like how evil they are. They're trying to find more ways to crash the government. Wow, then I see this like a fire truck actually coming with all these military people coming. Come, hello, Dai, here I am. And they're like coming, they're like, oh, in their direction to kind of hit them with the fire truck. And they're caught, and I see that they get hit by this fire truck. And then all kinds of military, policemen, firemen, or whatever get them. And they're not, and then I see they paraded in public. I don't think this is a real. It doesn't make sense that it's gonna happen like that. Like this scene is like this, but they can't run away because this is how alarming it is, right? Obviously, the guy, the only goal he has is creating chaos and destruction, and that's how he feels powerful, not by creating good things, but by just creating destruction. And I see that again. I see that he's like trying to press the Iran more. Iran, attack Iran, but he can't. So okay, it's saying between now and the 27th collapse. So I guess for next week, he's done. This week is saying, guys, timing is hard to predict, but it's saying is a collapse, really for real. And it's saying that from here until the next, for now, 3 weeks or so, is going to be the total, and it may be the time again. It's saying this is going to be the historic time to remember. It's telling you, Rosie, make notes of what is happening every single day because it's going to be in history. All of this, because it will have nothing like this will have ever happened. It may never happen again in history. Did that make sense? I hope I did. So for him, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna go and just go publish this quickly. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye bye. Great day, huh? Salve for Donnie. No.